I remember the exact moment that I decided to update Stop Struggling with Your Teen. So picture this. I'm at work. Mother and daughter walk in. Mom is going to sit in the waiting room scrolling on her phone while I see the daughter to fix the daughter. Not gonna happen. I wanted them both in together. Now, I can tell you by the mom's face, she was not a happy camper. I could not really read the teenager's face, so I don't want to make any guesses. The problem was quite obvious to the mother. She had a daughter who was physically and verbally abusive, and she never listened. And as a result, the mom felt she had no control. She had no other option than to take away her electronics. If the daughter did something small, if the daughter did something big, the electronic was the punishment. You cannot use it. In the following week, the daughter was supposed to get her iPad back. Needless to say, I needed to do something. What was strange for me was that I really had sympathy for the teenager. And the moment that really got me is that I wanted to reach out and pick up my book and have the mom read it. The only problem was the book that my co-author and I had written was way before the electronics entered the scene. This was not going to help at all. And my co-author wasn't really interested in writing again. But that moment that I wanted to pick up the book and I couldn't was the moment that I decided it needs to be updated. So, let me tell you what happened with the mom and the teenager. I asked them if they would be willing to talk to each other. I kind of had each person repeat what the other person said so they felt heard. And then I made a suggestion. Definitely the daughter would have to stop with the abuse. And at the same time, the mom needed to stop threatening to take away every electronic because what happened, it really escalated the fight. So I introduced the statements called, I'm willing, I want. I'm willing to whatever, and what I want is whatever. In this particular instance, the daughter said she is willing to stop being abusive, and when she finds herself getting out of control, she would give herself a time out. What she wanted was some breathing space and a chance to prove herself. The mom, who said, okay, you're supposed to get the iPad back. It's a really good test. I am willing to let you see if you can do this. What I want is not to be talked to in that way. Now, they both walked out of there with the new deal. I really don't know if it worked. I do know that session changed my life. And from what I was told, because the mom ended up calling and talking to the gal that runs Sound Mind, and the mom said, things are working. I'll call you back if needed. Now, what was really going on? Well, I am a believer that a misbehaving child is not a bad child, but a discouraged child. That's not by me, that's by Rudolf Dreikurs. And what happens is that they do what Dreikurs calls the goals of discouragement. And that's exactly what was happening in this case. The daughter may have tried to get her mom's attention. They obviously got in a power struggle. The daughter is saying, "You can't boss me." And the mom says, "Just you wait and see, I can." And then what happens many times when the parent overruns the teenager will go to revenge, which is exactly what was happening. The teenager is saying, "I may not be able to get your attention. I may not be able to overpower you, but by goodness, I can hurt you. I can get even with you." And sometimes what happens is the teenager will go to the fourth goal, which is totally, I guess you'd call it a sense of inadequacy, and they just give up. They have no emotion. You can do whatever you want. Now, when a teen is in goal 3, revenge, or a sense of inadequacy, goal 4, guess what? Consequences do not work. They don't care. So whatever punishment, and that's what it was, the punishment the mom dished out, she wasn't going to break through to the daughter. Now, meanwhile, the daughter is looking horrible. Verbal abuse, some physical abuse. Yeah, I'm going to turn my light back on. It just went out. So give me a minute. I think we're going to do the rest of this without a light. I think I've used it enough. So let me kind of give you a summary of what we've talked about so you do not stay in the dark. Okay. What happened is the teen and mom got in a power struggle. I'm the boss. No, I'm the boss. And what happened is the daughter said, "Wait a minute. I cannot tolerate this. I am going to hurt you." What we did in session was move away from consequences, because they wouldn't have worked anyway in this case, and we came up with a negotiated agreement. The first thing I did, though, before I went to a negotiated agreement, I made sure that each person was heard. And the proof was they summarized what the other person said. Then, after they, what I call, emptied out, then we could work towards a negotiated agreement. A really good way to do that is to structure it with "I'm willing" and "I want" statements. It's probably better to do what you're willing to do first and then to say what you want. So both parties kind of win and both parties give in a little bit. So that's what happened, and the result is a new edition of Stop Struggling with Your Teen that includes many examples that have electronics. I'm Yvonne Winehouse, co-author of Stop Struggling with Your Teen. Follow me